Okay, PowerPoint presentation. Okay. Is title slide visible, Abhijit?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay, now I am going to start lecture number
Yes,
4.
sir.
अभी आप अपना माइक ऑफ कर सकते हो और बीच में अगर कोई इंटरप्शन आया तो बताना, ठीक है? सो now I am going to start the lecture number 4. Okay, classical mechanics unit number 1. So today's date is 20th April. Okay. Now, as far as the syllabus of Unit 1 is concerned, we have studied the mechanics for single particle. Okay, we have already over this portion the mechanics of single particle, and we have started the portion for the system of particle. And in last lecture, I already told that what is system of particle. System of particles means if the system consists of two or more particles, and if we are study the mechanics of that group of particles or system of particles, then it comes under the mechanics for the system of particles. Okay, so we'll see the conservation laws for the system of particles. We have already studied the conservation law for single particle. Okay, now we will study for the group of particles. Okay, so till now we have completed the portion Newtonian mechanics for single particle system, work energy theorem. Okay, and some conservation laws for single particle system. Now we will study the conservation laws for system of particles. Okay, so what is system of particles? If suppose a system consists of two or more particles, then the group of particles is called system of particles. If suppose certain external forces or some internal forces acting among the particles, then this study comes under the mechanics of the system of particles. So we'll see what is conservation law of linear momentum for system of particles. So हम देखेंगे कि system of particles के लिए linear momentum कैसे conserved होता है. We'll see the derivation. Okay, conservation of linear momentum for system of particles. Okay, so suppose we will consider a system, we will consider a mechanical system. Why the system is called mechanical? Because the particles inside the system or a system consists of particles, they are in the motion, that's why it is called mechanical system. Okay, suppose a mechanical system consists of two or more particles. Why we are considering two or more particles? Because we are talking about the system of particles, that's why we are considering the two or more particles. Okay, we already studied for the single particle system, but now we will study for the group of particles. Group of particles means two or more particles. Okay, suppose a mechanical system consists of two or more particles, then if suppose among that particle I named one particle as a ith particle. एक मैं अगर मान लो बहुत सारा ऐसे ग्रुप में लोग खड़े हैं, ग्रुप में अगर स्टूडेंट्स खड़े हैं, एक स्टूडेंट को मैंने बोल दिया कि ये है आइथ स्टूडेंट, आई नंबर का स्टूडेंट है. वैसे ही सपोज अ मैकेनिकल सिस्टम कंसिस्ट ऑफ नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल्स. Okay, and one particle I named as a ith particle. So what will be the force acting on ith particle? So force acting on ith particle is given by this expression. This is very easy expression. We have to understand this expression. I already told this expression in last lecture when I was talking about the center of mass. Okay, so if suppose I named one particle as the ith particle, so what will be the force acting on ith particle? Force acting on ith particle is nothing but external force plus internal force, sum of external and internal force. Fie means external force acting on ith particle, or Fij means some internal force. If suppose there is a particle near if suppose one particle is ith particle and nearby I name the neighboring particle as jth particle. Okay, so if suppose दो पार्टिकल है तो दोनों क्या करेंगे, एक में के ऊपर या एक दूसरे के ऊपर फोर्स एक्ट करेंगे, तो वो सिस्टम के अंदर का फोर्स है, दैट इज कॉल्ड इंटरनल फोर्स. ओके, क्योंकि आइथ पार्टिकल जो मैंने अगर मान लो कि एक ग्रुप ऑफ स्टूडेंट है, एक स्टूडेंट को मैंने बोल दिया कि ये मेरा स्टूडेंट है, आइथ वाला स्टूडेंट है, आई नंबर का स्टूडेंट है, तो उसके बाजू में तो कोई स्टूडेंट होगा ना, उसके आगे भी होंगे स्टूडेंट, पीछे भी स्टूडेंट होंगे, क्योंकि एक ग्रुप ऑफ स्टूडेंट खड़ा हुआ है एक पर्टिकुलर ग्राउंड पे. ओके सो क्या करेगा कि दूसरा स्टूडेंट भी पहले स्टूडेंट के ऊपर फोर्स एक्ट करेगा। वैसे ही अगर सिस्टम ऑफ पार्टिकल्स के अंदर मैंने एक पार्टिकल को बोला ये ith पार्टिकल है, तो उसके बाजू वाला अगर jth पार्टिकल है, तो jth पार्टिकल के वजह से क्या होगा, ith पार्टिकल पे फोर्स जो एक्ट होगा उसको बोलेंगे इंटरनल फोर्स, बिकॉज वो किस में हो रहा है, सिस्टम के अंदर हो रहा है। सो अगर टोटल फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन ith पार्टिकल अगर मैंने निकाला, इफ वी फाइंड आउट द फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन ith पार्टिकल, सो इट विल बी द सम ऑफ एक्सटर्नल फोर्स प्लस इंटरनल फोर्स. So external force means FIE. This is the external force. And internal force means FIJ, where J is equal to 1 to n. J 1 भी हो सकता है, 2 भी हो सकता है, 3 भी हो सकता है, up to n. ओके और FIJ मतलब फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन ith पार्टिकल ड्यू टू jth पार्टिकल, मतलब नेबर के कारण, आई पार्टिकल के बाजू में जो भी पार्टिकल है उसके कारण जो फोर्स एक्ट हो रहा है आई पार्टिकल पे, दैट इज कॉल्ड इंटरनल फोर्स. सो इंटरनल फोर्स मींस दिस इज फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन ith पार्टिकल ड्यू टू jth पार्टिकल. दिस टर्म इज इंटरनल फोर्स एंड दिस टर्म इज एक्सटर्नल. सपोज ग्राउंड में अगर बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स खड़े हुए हैं और अचानक हवा चल गई, तो हवा चल गई तो क्या होगा, हवा क्या करेगी, वो स्टूडेंट पे फोर्स एक्सर्ट करेंगी, तो दैट विल बी द एक्सटर्नल फोर्स. वैसे ही अगर सिस्टम ऑफ पार्टिकल्स मतलब एक पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप ऑफ पार्टिकल्स है और आउटसाइड का कोई फोर्स, आउटसाइड हमने एक्सटर्नल कोई फोर्स दे दिया या एक्सटर्नल टॉर्क एक्ट कर रहा है उस पर, तो वो क्या हो जाएगा, एक्सटर्नल फोर्स. सो सिस्टम के अंदर जो भी पार्टिकल है उस पे दो काइंड ऑफ फोर्सेस एक्सर्ट करेंगे, एक होगा एक्सटर्नल फोर्स और दूसरा होगा इंटरनल फोर्स. ओके सो FI मतलब फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन ith पार्टिकल विल बी एक्सटर्नल फोर्स प्लस इंटरनल फोर्स. FIE इज द एक्सटर्नल फोर्स एंड FIJ मीन्स इंटरनल फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन ith पार्टिकल ड्यू टू jth पार्टिकल. दिस आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड in last lecture. Okay so this will be the equation number 1 and I should not be equal to J, क्योंकि एक पार्टिकल दूसरे पार्टिकल के इक्वल नहीं बोल सकते ना, अलग अलग है, I पार्टिकल अलग है, jth पार्टिकल अलग है. ओके तो I should not be equal to J. Okay so this is the simple expression for force acting on ith particle. Okay तो force acting on ith particle means external force plus internal force. Okay so this is external force. I already told that FIE means external force acting on ith particle and FIJ means internal force acting on ith particle due to neighboring particle, due to its neighboring particle. Which is neighboring particle? Jth particle is the neighboring particle. So FIJ means force acting on ith particle due to jth particle. So external force plus internal force, that is the force acting on ith particle. Okay so this we are considering this as an equation number 1. Okay so according to Newton's law of motion, we know that the Newton's law means, according to Newton's law of motion, second law of motion, rate of change of linear momentum is nothing but the equal to force. This is, we know that according to Newton's second law, rate of change of linear momentum is equal to the force, applied force. So rate of change of linear momentum we can write as pi dot. I am giving suffix I because I am talking about only ith particle. सिर्फ I वाला पार्टिकल के बारे में मैं बोल रहा हूँ, ith पार्टिकल के बारे में बोल रहा हूँ. That's why I have written the suffix I. Okay so according to Newton's second law of motion, Fi is equal to dpi by dt. Dpi by dt means rate of change of linear momentum is equal to force. It is from Newton's second law of motion, ये हमको पता है. This is from Newton's second law of motion. और dpi by dt को हम pi dot भी लिख सकते हैं, क्योंकि derivative of pi with respect to time it can be written as pi dot. Okay so this is second law of motion. So in place of Fi we can write as dpi by dt. Okay तो Fi जो हमने पहला इक्वेशन देखा, this is our first equation. Here is Fi, so we can replace Fi by dpi by dt, because according to Newton's second law of motion, Fi means dpi by dt. So putting this value, okay, Fi means dpi by dt, to put this value in equation number 1. Putting the value of Fi in equation number 1, so 1 become this one. Okay Fi की जगह अभी मैंने क्या रख दिया, dpi by dt. तो देखो इक्वेशन नंबर 1 देखो, Fi है लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में, so I am putting dpi by dt in place of Fi. Okay So in place of fi, I have put dpi by dt. So the equation 1 become dpi by dt is equal to FIE, that is external force acting on ith particle, and this is summation over j Fij. This is internal force acting on ith particle due to its neighboring, means jth particle. Okay, till now we are talking about only the ith particle, but we are not talking about the all the particles in the system. Okay, so if we look at this equation, this is equation for ith particle. एक कोई भी एक स्टूडेंट जिसको मैंने आई नंबर दिया और उसी के लिए इक्वेशन है, बट वी हैव टू प्रूव द कंजर्वेशन ऑफ लीनियर मोमेंटम फॉर ग्रुप ऑफ पार्टिकल्स, फॉर सिस्टम ऑफ पार्टिकल. और सिस्टम के अंदर अगर 100 पार्टिकल्स है तो 100 के लिए मुझे इक्वेशन लिखना पड़ेगा, 200 पार्टिकल्स है तो 200 के लिए इक्वेशन लिखना पड़ेगा. बट दिस इज इक्वेशन ओनली फॉर द ith पार्टिकल्स. अगर मुझे सारे पार्टिकल्स के ऊपर इक्वेशन लिखना है, सो वी हैव टू टेक द समेशन. Okay, so if I want to take all the particles inside the system, okay, so this equation cannot be valid because this equation only for the ith particle. If I want to consider all the particles in the system, I have to incorporate the summation into the equation. So taking summation on both sides, so I have to take the summation. Summation means sum. तो सारे के सारे जितने भी पार्टिकल्स है सबका समेशन लेना, मतलब सबका सम करना. जितने भी 100 पार्टिकल्स है या 200 पार्टिकल्स है, 1000 पार्टिकल्स है या n पार्टिकल्स है, तो सबका मैं सम कर दूंगा, समेशन ले लूंगा. इफ आई टेक अ समेशन ऑन बोथ साइड्स ऑफ दिस इक्वेशन, देन वी कैन से दैट दिस इक्वेशन इज अप्लाई फॉर द सिस्टम ऑफ पार्टिकल्स, मीन्स फॉर ऑल द पार्टिकल्स इनसाइड द system. So take summation over I. Okay, over I, why we have taken over I? Because I, here we can consider that I, the value of I is from 1 to n. Okay, the value of I is from 1 to n. Okay, so I am taking summation over I on both sides. So look at this equation. Okay, this is equation without summation over I. I have taken summation on the both sides. So here first term and second term. So this equation will become summation over I, where the value of I is from 1 to n. Okay, summation over I dpi by dt is equal to summation over I, the value of I is from 1 to n, summation over I FIE plus summation over I, there is already one summation is there, that is summation over j. So there will be two summation over I and summation over j Fij. Okay, so we have taken the summation over I on both sides. So this summation will go to each term of this equation. Okay, look at this equation. Dpi by dt is equal to Fie plus summation over j Fij. Will take the summation over I on both sides. So summation over I dpi by dt is equal to summation over I Fie plus summation over I, that one summation is already there, summation over j Fij. So we'll get this equation. Okay, in next slide we'll get same equation I have put in that slide. Summation over I dpi by dt is equal to summation over I Fie plus summation over I and j Fij. Okay, so consider this equation as a equation number 2. Okay, dpi by dt is equal to Fie plus summation over I summation over j Fij. Now look at this term. Okay, this term is nothing but summation over I and summation over j. If suppose I take summation over I, then this term will be Fij. But when we take the summation over j, Fij will become Fji. Then I and j can interchange. So this term means Fij plus Fji. This term is what? Fij plus Fji. Okay, why? Because there are two summations, summation over I and summation over j. So if we take summation over I, then this will become Fij. Plus, summation means plus. If we take summation over j, then it will be Fji. So this term will be Fij plus Fji. But we know that Fij plus Fji is equal to 0. because according to Newton's Newton's third law of motion, force acting on ith particle due to jth particle is equal to force acting on jth particle due to I particle, but opposite. It means that Fij is equal to minus Fji. According to Newton's third law of motion, we know that Fij is equal to minus Fji. Fij means force acting on ith particle due to jth particle. Fji means force acting on jth particle due to ith particle. They are equal but opposite. That's why I have put the minus sign here, because it is opposite. So if we take this term into left hand side, then it become Fij plus Fji is equal to 0 according to Newton's third law of motion. So this term is Fij plus Fji is equal to 0 according to Newton's third law, and this summation says that Fij plus Fji. If we solve this summation, we will get Fij plus Fji. Why? Because first summation is over I, second summation over j. So if we put I summation over I, then Fij, plus if we put summation over j, then Fji. Fij plus Fji, this summation, if we solve this summation, we will get Fij plus Fji. If Fij plus Fji is 0, so this term will be 0. So this term, the equation number 2, second term of the equation number 2 will be 0. So after putting this in this summation, because this, if we solve this summation, we will get Fij plus Fji, but Fij plus Fji is 0, so this term will be 0. So equation 2 become dpi by dt summation over I, dpi by dt is equal to summation over I Fie, because this will be 0. Why this will be 0? According to Newton's third law of motion, summation over I and summation over j, Fij term is there. So this, if we solve this summation, we will get Fij plus Fji, and Fij plus Fji is 0. That's why this term will be 0. And after putting 0, this term will left with only two terms, that is dpi by dt is equal to Fie. It means that summation over I dpi by dt is equal to summation over I Fie. So what is Fie? Fie is external force acting on the system of particles, acting on the all the particles of the system. What is dpi by dt? Because summation is there. If summation is there, it means that we are talking about all the particles in the system. If summation is not there, if suppose summation is not there, then we are talking about only single particle. If summation is there, it means we are talking about the number of particles or all the particles in the system. So summation over I Fie means external force acting on all the particles of the system. It means external force acting on the system of particles. dpi by dt summation over I means the rate of change of linear momentum for the system of particles, for all the particles in the system. Okay, so after solving this equation, that is summation over I dpi by dt is equal to summation over I Fie. Okay, now we can remove the summation. Okay, because the all these term contain summation over I, we can remove the summation. After removing the summation, we will get dp by dt is equal to Fie. If we remove the summation over I, then I term will be removed. ओके जब हम आई समेशन रिमूव करेंगे तो आई भी रिमूव हो जाएगा सफिक्स में. सो बचेगा क्या? बिकॉज समीशन इज ऑन द बोथ साइड्स, वी कैन रिमूव द समीशन. आफ्टर रिमूविंग द समेशन ऑन बोथ साइड्स वी लेफ्ट विथ और वी आर लेफ्ट विथ dp by dt is equal to Fe. It says that rate of change of momentum for the system of particle is equal to the external force acting on the system of particle. If suppose external force acting on the system of particle is 0, if force is acting on all the particles, if external force in acting, अगर मान लो कि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ग्राउंड पे खड़े हैं और हवा चल ही नहीं रही है, इसका मतलब एक्सटर्नल फोर्स 0 है. तो एक्सटर्नल फोर्स 0 है मतलब जितने भी स्टूडेंट ग्राउंड पे खड़े, दे आर स्टेबल. Okay, it means their linear momentum is conserved. Same, we are left with the equation dp by dt is equal to E. Okay, if suppose this external force is 0, if external force is 0, it means that dp by dt is equal to 0. If dp by dt is equal to 0, it means rate of change of linear momentum for the system of particle is 0. It means linear momentum is conserved or linear momentum is constant. Suppose if the external force acting on the system of particle is 0, it means Fe is equal to 0. If suppose Fe is equal to 0, so dp by dt is equal to 0. If the external force acting on the system of particle is 0, it means Fe is equal to 0. So equation 3 becomes dp by dt equal to 0. It means that rate of change of momentum is 0. It means that if the derivative of any term is 0, then it means that term is constant. Okay, dp by dt is equal to 0. It means p is constant. Because derivative of any term is 0, it means that term will be constant. If that term is constant, then we say that that term is conserved. Okay, so dp by dt is equal to 0. It means that p is constant. If p is constant, it means that the total linear momentum acting on the system of particles or total linear momentum of the system of particle is conserved. So this is the proof for conservation of linear momentum for the system of particles. Okay, so it is very easy. The proof of conservation law for linear momentum for the system of particle is very easy. Just we have to remember the Newton's second law of motion. Okay, Newton's second law of motion and certain equations. Okay. Hello.
यस सर.
आवाज आ रही थी ना? डिस्टर्ब हुआ बीच में?
यस सर. नहीं सर.
नहीं ना? ठीक चल रहा
नहीं
है?
सर. हाँ सर.
ठीक. So this is the total linear momentum of the system of particles is conserved. I am repeating this derivation once more because some interruption was there in the middle. That's why I am just revising these expressions or this. Okay, I am revising. Just we are considering the mechanical system of particles, 2 or more particles. So we have this equation: force acting on ith particle means external force plus internal force. This is external force acting on ith particle and this is internal force acting on ith particle due to jth particle. So this is equation number 1. Okay, and then according to Newton's law of motion, Fi is nothing but dpi by dt, that is force acting on ith particle is rate of change of linear momentum. Okay, then we have put this equation this in equation number 1. Then we will get dpi by dt is equal to Fie plus summation of j Fij. But this equation is only for ith particle, but we have to consider all the particles in the system, so we have to take the summation on both sides. So after taking the summation on both sides over I, because the value of I is from 1 to n, so after taking the summation on both sides we will get this equation. Okay, so after getting this equation, I just named that this equation as number 2. Okay, that's number 2. Now we'll consider this term Fij. Because this is summation over I and summation over j, that is Fij. So this term will be 0 because according to Newton's law of motion, Fij plus Fji is equal to 0, because Fij is equal to minus Fji. Force acting on ith particle due to jth is equal to force acting on jth particle due to I particle, but in opposite direction. Okay, so sum of Fij plus Fji is equal to 0. So this term will be 0. Okay, when this term will be 0, then we are left with only two terms: dpi by dt is equal to summation of I Fie. Okay, this is the external force acting on system of particles and this is rate of change of linear momentum for the system of particles. Okay, after removing the summation, because summation is on the both side, after removing the summation we'll get dp by dt is equal to Fe. Okay, this is the external force acting on the system of particles, or external force acting on all the particles of the system. Okay, if this external force is zero, okay, if this external force is zero, then equation number 3 become dp by dt is equal to 0, and dp by dt equal to 0 means p is constant. P is constant means linear momentum is conserved. Okay, so this is the proof for the conservation of linear momentum for system of particles. For system of particles means group of particles. Okay, so this is the derivation for conservation of linear momentum for system of particles. Okay, so now we'll see the second derivation or second thing. Okay, we have studied the linear momentum is conserved for single particle. Okay, now we have studied the linear momentum is conserved for system of particles. Then after linear momentum we have proved that the angular momentum is conserved for single particle system. Now we will prove that the angular momentum is conserved for system of particles. Now we will see that conservation of angular momentum for system of particles. Okay, so before going through its derivation, we will see one diagram. Okay, in that diagram we will see how the system of particle is represented, or how the system of particle is presented. Okay, so see this diagram. This is very easy diagram. This is the x-axis and this is y-axis. Okay, because x and y-axis are used to describe the position of the particle, that I already told when I was talking about the frame of reference. Okay, so this is x-axis and this is y-axis, and suppose this yellow region is the system of particles. Inside that number of particles are present. So green circles are the particles. Okay, and this yellow boundary is system of particles. So the yellow boundary is the boundary for system of particles, and inside that number of particles are present. So these green circles are the particles. So it constitute the system of particles. Okay, if suppose this green circle I can label as ith particle. If suppose this is ith particle, so the position vector associated with ith particle will be Ri, vector Ri. Okay, the position vector is what? The distance between the origin and to that particle, that is radius vector, that is position vector, is called Ri. So if this particle is ith particle, then the position vector associated with this particle is Ri. If suppose this particle is jth particle, this particle is jth particle, so the position vector associated with that particle is Rj. Okay, so this is ith particle, this is jth particle. Okay, it means these two particles are present inside the system of particle, and if these two particles, okay, these two particles are present in the system of particles, and the force acting between that particles also. Okay, so the force acting between these I and jth particle is called internal force. That force direction is this Fij. Fij is force acting on ith particle due to jth particle. If suppose this is ith particle and this is jth particle, so force acting along this line. See that arrow, along this arrow. So force acting on ith particle due to jth particle will be Fij. So force, the direction of force is along this arrow. Okay, so this is jth particle and this is ith particle, and the distance between the jth and ith particle we can represent it by this position vector Rji. See this Rji. Rji is the position vector of joining this I and j, position vector joining this ith and jth particle. Okay, so Rji, this is this. Okay, the distance between I and jth particle, the position vector between jth and ith and jth particle will be Rji. Okay, so this is the simple representation of system of particle. We are labeling two particles. One particle is ith particle, and position vector of this ith particle is Ri. This is jth particle, position vector of this jth particle is Rj, and the distance between I and jth particle, that is position vector between ith and jth particle, will be Rji, and force acting among them, the force acting on ith particle due to jth particle will be Fji. So Fji is also in this direction. Okay, so just look at this picture. this is the vector, okay, this is the vector rj, and this is the vector rji, and this is the opposite vector ri. So according to triangle, so it is forming a triangle. Just see my mouse arrow, it is forming a triangle. Okay, so this vector, the direction of this vector is this, forward direction rj, and direction of this vector is rji, and this vector's direction is in opposite direction. So according to triangle law of addition, rj plus rji is equal to ri. rj plus rji is equal to ri. According to triangle law of vector addition, it is forming a triangle. Just see my mouse arrow, it is forming a triangle, but the direction of vector is rj vector is in forward direction, it is in forward direction, but the direction of ri in reverse direction. So rj plus rji is equal to ri according to triangle law of vector addition. Rj plus rji is equal to ri. Rj plus rji is equal to ri. If we find out the rji from this equation, so rji is equal to ri minus rj. So ri minus rj is rji. If we take rj on right hand side, then ri minus rj is rji. Okay, so just understand the concept of vectors and vector law of addition. We are considering this system of the particles, and we are labeling two particles. One is ith particle and second is jth particle. Position vector associated with the ith particle is ri. Position vector associated with jth particle is rj. The line joining between these two particles, that is the position vector rji, and the force acting on ith particle due to jth particle, that is internal force, it is acting along the same line, that is Fij. Okay, and according to the triangle law of vector addition, rj plus rji is equal to ri. If we find out the rji from this equation, rji is equal to ri. If we take rj on right hand side, rji is equal to ri minus rj. Okay, so this is the system of the particle. And what is this tau e? Tau e means external torque acting on the system of particles. So why we are talking about the torque here? Because we are talking about the angular momentum. If suppose certain object is moving in a certain angle and rotational motion, so certain torque is acting. What is torque? I already told in last lecture what is torque. So this is torque. Okay, if the external torque acting on the system of particle is zero, then we can say that angular momentum is conserved. जैसे एक्सटर्नल फोर्स अगर सिस्टम ऑफ पार्टिकल्स पे जीरो होता है तो लीनियर मोमेंटम कंजर्व, वैसे अगर एक्सटर्नल टॉर्क अगर सिस्टम ऑफ पार्टिकल पे कोई टॉर्क ही नहीं रहता है तो एंगुलर मोमेंटम कांस्टेंट हो जाता है, एंगुलर मोमेंटम कंजर्व्ड हो जाता है. सो टॉई मीन्स external torque acting on the system of particle. If this external torque is zero, it means that angular momentum is conserved. अगर जीरो नहीं है तो वो एंगुलर मोमेंटम कंजर्व नहीं होगा. अगर एक्सटर्नल टॉर्क एक्टिंग ऑन द पार्टिकल जीरो है तो एंगुलर मोमेंटम कंजर्व्ड होगा. सो टॉ ई मीन्स एक्सटर्नल टॉर्क एक्टिंग ऑन द system of the particle. So what is the statement? If total external torque acting on the system of particle is zero, then we can say that angular momentum for the system of particle is conserved. कब conserved होगा angular momentum? जब torque zero होगी. Torque zero होगी मतलब external force. Okay, torque here, torque means R cross F, external force acting on the system when that system in the angular motion. ओके, रोटेशनल मोशन. ओके, तो रोटेशनल मोशन में कोई सिस्टम रहता है और उस पर जो फोर्स एक्सटर्नली एक्ट करते हैं उसको टॉर्क बोलते हैं. So if the torque acting on the system of the particle is zero, it means that angular momentum is conserved. This is the statement for the law of conservation of angular momentum for the system of particles. This says that if the total external torque acting on the system of particle is zero, the total angular momentum for the system of particle is conserved. Okay, now we'll prove that how the angular momentum is conserved for the system of particle. Okay, then we'll see the derivation. So statement is that torque zero, angular momentum zero, angular momentum constant, external force zero, linear momentum constant. Okay, टॉर्क जीरो मीन्स एंगुलर मोमेंटम कांस्टेंट, एक्सटर्नल फोर्स जीरो मतलब लीनियर मोमेंटम कांस्टेंट. So we'll prove that if external torque acting on the system is zero, then how the angular momentum is conserved we will see mathematically. Okay, so consider a system of particles. So this is the system of particle. I already told you in the diagram, these green circles are the particles and this yellow boundary means system of the particles. Inside that system the particles are present. So let us consider the system of particles. Okay, so pi, let us consider pi is what? Linear momentum. P means P is represented for linear momentum. So pi is linear momentum acting on the ith particle of the system having position vector ri. I का position vector क्या है? ri है. Okay, the position vector associated with ith particle is ri. Okay, and pi is the linear momentum acting on linear momentum of ith particle. Okay, pi be the linear momentum of ith particle of the system having position vector i. ith particle का position vector क्या है? ri है. jth particle का position vector क्या है? rj है. Okay, so let pi be the linear momentum of ith particle of the system having position vector ri. So अगर pi linear momentum है तो angular momentum क्या हो जाएगा? We know that angular momentum, the formula for angular momentum is r cross p. Okay, formula for angular momentum is r cross p. Okay, so the angular momentum of ith particle about point O, because this system of particle is rotating about the point O. Okay, so angular momentum of ith particle about point O is given by angular momentum का formula क्या है? r cross p. L is equal to r cross p. Okay, r is position vector and p is linear momentum. Okay, so for ith particle, the angular momentum of ith particle is given by Li is equal to Ri cross Pi. Li means angular momentum of ith particle. We are talking about the ith particle only. Okay, that's why I am quoting the equation in terms of I, because till now we are talking about only for ith particle, talking about the ith particle. Okay, so the angular momentum of ith particle about point O is given by Li is equal to Ri cross Pi, because you know that the formula for angular momentum is r cross p. Okay, and for ith particle Ri cross Pi. Okay, so Li is equal to Ri cross Pi. Okay, so this will be the angular momentum of ith particle, Ri cross Pi. Ri is the position vector of ith particle, Pi is the linear momentum of ith particle. So till now we are only talking about the ith particle. Okay, so if we want to calculate the total angular momentum of all the particles of the system, then we have to take the summation. I already told in the last derivation. Now till now we are talking about only for the ith particle. If we talk about all the particles in the system, we have to take the summation over I on both sides. So after taking summation over I, this is the equation number 1. Okay, now I am taking summation over I on both sides. So it will become summation over I Li is equal to summation over I Ri cross Pi. So why we are taking the summation over I? Because I want to calculate the total angular momentum for the system of particles. It means for all the particles in the system. Okay, in that equation number 1, that equation number 1 is only for ith particle, but I have to find out for all the particles in the system. That's why I am taking summation over I on both sides, whereas the value of I is from 1 to n. Okay, so by taking summation on both sides, summation over I Li is equal to summation over I Ri cross Pi. Okay, so this is the summation over I Li, means this Li is the angular momentum for ith particle, but we are taking the summation. It means this is the angular momentum for all the particles in the system for system of particle. This is angular momentum for system of particles. So this summation we can write as capital L, because capital L represent total angular momentum for system of particle or total angular momentum for all the particles in the system. So in place of summation over I Li, we can write as capital L vector. Why capital L vector? Because capital L vector is equal to summation over I Li, and capital L vector means total angular momentum for the system of particle or for all the particles in the system. Okay, so this is equation number 3. Okay, this is equation number 3. Now we are differentiating the equation number 3 with respect to t, with respect to time. Okay, we are differentiating equation number 3 with respect to time. So differentiating with respect to time means dl by dt. Okay, so differentiating on both sides, so left hand side will become dl by dt is equal to d dt of this term. Okay, we are differentiating equation number 3 with respect to t, means we are taking the derivative of equation number 3 with respect to t. So by taking the derivative of equation number 3 with respect to t, it means dl by dt is equal to d dt of summation over I r cross pi. Okay, तो लेफ्ट में भी डेरिवेटिव ले लिया, राइट में भी डेरिवेटिव ले लिया. Okay, why we have taken derivative? Because we have to prove that the linear momentum is conserved. If you angular momentum is conserved. Okay, if you want to prove that the angular momentum is conserved or not, we have to take the derivative. If that derivative is 0, dl by dt is 0, then we can say that the angular momentum is conserved. So that's why we are differentiating equation number 3 with respect to t. So dl by dt is equal to d dt of summation of over I r cross pi. Okay, so now very easy derivation. So we are taking the derivative on both sides. dl by dt is equal to d dt of summation over I ri cross pi. Okay, now we can take this summation outside, okay, and derivative inside. Okay, see this step. In this step we are taking derivative inside and summation outside. So we are keeping this derivative inside and we have kept this summation at the outside. Okay, so summation over I d dt of ri cross pi. Okay, now d dt means derivative with respect to time ri cross pi. So ri cross pi both are the variable. So we have to attend, or we have to do the product rule, or we have to apply here product rule. d dt of ri cross pi, derivative of two variables. R is also variable, that is the position vector of ith particle. Pi is also variable, and this is summation. Summation means it is for the system of particles, for the all the particles in the system. So d dt of ri cross pi, we have to apply the product rule. So by product rule of derivative, we first keep this term constant, and this is first term and this is second term. Keep first term constant and derivative of second, plus second term constant and derivative of first. Okay, so by applying the product rule, this I am keeping ri is constant, so first term is constant ri, then derivative of second means ri cross dpi by dt, plus now we will get second term constant. So second term constant means pi is constant, then derivative of first dr by dt. So by applying the product rule of derivative of these two functions, that is two variables, first term and second terms, we will get ri cross dpi by dt plus dr by dt cross pi. Okay, in first case we have kept ri constant and derivative of second, in plus we are keep derivative of second term constant and derivative of first. This is the product rule of derivative. Okay, so after applying the product rule of derivative on these two variables ri and pi, so we'll get ri summation over I ri cross dpi by dt plus dr by dt cross pi. Okay, now we know that dr by dt means the rate of change of position vector. This means dr by dt means rate of change of position vector with respect to time. It means dr by dt means velocity. Rate of change of position vector means velocity, and pi is linear momentum of ith particle, and linear momentum means, you know that linear momentum means mass into velocity, m into v. Okay, so in place of dr by dt we can put vi, Okay, why Vi? Because this we are talking about the ith particle. Inside the summation, we are talking about ith particle, but summation is there. It means that for system of particles, for all the particles in the system. So dr by dt means Vi. Okay, velocity of ith particle, and Pi means m into Vi. M is constant. That's why I am not putting I in the suffix, because m is constant. So m into Vi. Okay. So why this so? Because dr by dt is Vi and Pi is nothing but mass into velocity. So in place of Pi I have kept okay, I have put m into Vi, and in place of dr by dt I have put Vi. Okay, so this will get this equation. Okay, but m is constant. Okay, but m is constant, so I can take m at the outside. So we will get Vi cross Vi. So Vi is same vector. This Vi is same vector. Both, if Vi is Vi same term, Vi same term. These two terms are same term, and the cross product of same terms, because these are the vectors. If these are same vectors, it means these vectors are parallel. These are along the same line. The cross product of parallel vector is 0. Okay, so Vi cross Vi is 0. If Vi cross Vi is 0, it means this term will be 0. Why Vi cross Vi is 0? Because Vi and Vi are same vectors, they are along same line, they are parallel vectors. That's why their cross product is 0. So Vi cross Vi is 0, it means this term will be 0. Then we will get dl by dt is equal to summation over I Ri cross dpi by dt. Dpi by dt. Okay, we are left with this term, and dpi by dt means rate of change of linear momentum, means this is according to Newton's second law of motion. Dpi by dt is Fi, force. Okay, rate of change of linear momentum is force. So that's why I have kept in place of dpi by dt, that is Fi. Okay, why? Because rate of change of linear momentum is equal to the force according to the Newton's second law of motion. So in place of dpi by dt, we have kept Fi. So we are left with the equation dl by dt is equal to summation over I Ri cross Fi. Okay, we are left with the equation this. Okay, so we got dl by dt is equal to summation over I Ri cross Fi. Okay, now you know that what is Fi. I already told in derivation 1, the force acting on ith particle means external force plus internal force. Okay, force acting on ith particle is given by external force plus internal force. Okay, force acting on ith particle, we already know that it is equal to the force external force acting on ith particle plus internal force acting on ith particle due to jth particle, where the summation is from j is equal to 1 to n. Okay, we put this value in equation number 4, that is Fie plus summation over j equal to 1 to n Fij. Okay, we can put in place of Fi, we can put these values in place of Fi. Okay, putting the value of Fi from equation 5 to equation 4. Okay, so after putting the value, we'll get dl by dt is equal to summation over I Ri cross, and in place of Fi I have put this value external force plus internal force. So from where we have taken this value, this we know that this force acting on ith particle is equal to external force plus internal force. So from equation number 5 we have brought these values, and we have put these values in equation number 4. Okay, so in place of Fi, I am going to put Fie plus summation over j Fij. Okay, so after putting this value, the equation become dl by dt is equal to summation over I Ri cross, in place of Fi I have put Fie plus summation over j equal to 1 Fij. I have put this value. Okay, on solving this bracket, this Ri is common, that's why this Ri will be multiplied by first term and will be multiplied by second term also. Okay, so summation over I Ri cross Fie plus, again on solving the bracket, Ri cross summation over j Fij. Okay, because this is common term Ri, so I have multiplied this Ri to first term as well as second term. Okay, on solving this bracket, we'll get summation over I Ri cross Fie plus Ri cross summation over J Fij. And what is Ri? Position vector of ith particle. What is Fij? External force acting on ith particle. What is Fij? Fij, that is internal force acting on ith particle due to jth particle. And what is Fie? External force acting on ith particle. Okay, and why we have put this summation? This summation is for the system of particles. अगर ये summation नहीं होता तो ये system of particles के लिए equation होता क्या? नहीं होता. This is summation over I, where I is equal to 1 to n. That's why this is equation for the system of particles. Okay, now this summation is common, so we are applying this summation on first term as well as second term, because this is bracket. On solving the bracket, this summation, okay, this summation will be for first term and this summation will be for second term also. So this summation over I Ri cross Fi, and this summation is also for second term, summation over I Ri cross summation over J equal to 1 Fij. Okay, because we have solved this bracket, so this summation will go to first term as well as for second term. Okay, so this equation become dl by dt is equal to summation over I Ri cross Fie plus, again this on solving this bracket, this summation for second term also, this summation over I Ri cross summation over, this summation is already here, summation over J Fij. Okay, now only look at the second term. First term is as it is here in next step. Now look at the second term. Okay, we are combining this summation because this is summation over I and this is summation over J, and the value of I is from 1 to n and value of J is also from 1 to n. We can combine this summation. So after combining these two summation, we'll get one summation, that is summation over I comma J equal to 1 to n, because the value of I is also from 1 to n and value of J is also 1 to n. So we can combine these two summations. So after combining these two summation, we'll get summation over I comma J equal to 1 to n, and we are left with the vectors Ri cross Fij, Ri cross Fij. Okay, so first term is as it is, and on solving the second term we are combining both the summation, so we'll get the summation over I comma J, because this is summation over I and this is summation over J. We can combine this summation, so summation over Ij, summation over I comma J, because both the value of I and J from 1 to n, and inside that Ri cross Fij, and we'll remain with inside that summation is Ri cross Fij. Now don't look at the first term, only concentrate on second term. On solving this second term, we'll get combined summation over I and J is equal to 1 to n and R cross Fij. Okay, now we will solve the second term. Okay, don't bother about the first term. First term is constant, first term is Ri cross F. Now look at the second term. Now we will solve the second term of this equation. Okay, so on solving the second term, what is second term of equation number 6? Now we will solve the second term for the equation number 6. So what is the second term? The second term of equation number 6 is summation over Ij equal to 1 to n, that is Ri cross Fij. Now we will solve this equation. So this is summation over I and J. Okay, so first of all, when we take the value of I, then it will become Ri cross Fij plus, summation is plus. We are solving this summation. This summation is from equation number 6 to second. This is the second term of that equation. We are solving this second term. Okay, so this second term is nothing but summation over Ij equal to 1 to n Ri cross Fij. Okay, first we take the summation over I, then we'll get Ri cross Fij plus. Now we will take the summation over J, so interchange I and J, so we'll get Rj cross Fji. Okay, so on solving this summation, first of all we will get Ri cross Fij plus, if we interchange J by I and I by J, it means that we will get the summation over J, so it will become Rj cross Fji. So the summation or the solution for this summation will be Ri cross Fij plus Rj cross Fji. Okay, Ri cross Fij is already there, Ri cross Fij, because summation over I. But if we take the summation over j, then we can interchange I and j, so it will become Rj cross Fji, Rj cross Fji. So on solving this summation, we'll get Ri cross Fij plus Rj cross Fji. Okay, Fij and Fji, Ri cross Fij plus Rj cross Fji. But Fij and Fji are equal according to Newton's second law of motion, Newton's third law of motion. Fij and Fji are equal, but Fij is equal to minus of Fji, or minus of Fji is equal to minus of or Fji is equal to minus of Fij. Okay, Fij is equal to minus of Fji. Okay, it means that Fji, if we take minus at this side, so it means that Fji is equal to minus Fij. So in place of Fji, we can put minus Fij. Okay, so here is Fij, keeping this term is constant, Ri cross Fij. Just I am reversing this Fji term. In place of Fji, I am putting Fij. Or it means that Fji means minus Fij, or Fij means minus Fji. Okay, so in place of Fji I am putting minus Fij, because Fij and Fji are equal but direction is opposite. Okay, so in place of Fji I am putting minus Fij, so this plus become minus here. Okay, so in place of Fij I am putting in place of Fji I am putting Fij. Okay, while putting Fij, I want to include here minus sign, because Fji is minus Fij, or Fij means minus Fji. So in place of Fji, I am putting Fij, and I have included the minus sign because these forces are equal but opposite. Okay, so in place of Fji, I am putting Fij and minus sign is there. So Fij is constant. So Fij I can take outside. Okay, so I am taking Fij common to the right hand side. So Fij common here, and we are left with Ri minus Rj. So I am taking Fij common at the left side, and we are left with Ri minus Rj. So Ri minus Rj means Rji. Okay, while going through that diagram, I already told that due to the vector law of addition, Ri minus Rj is Rji. Okay, so in place of Ri minus Rj, we can put Rji. Okay, so it will become Ri minus Rj become Rji cross Fij. Fij is there. Okay, Rji cross Fij. Okay. Now Rji cross Fij, the cross product of Rji and Fij is 0. Why 0? Because Rji and Fij are acting along the same line. Okay, I am showing the diagram again, then with that diagram you can understand the concepts. Okay, I am showing the diagram again. Just look at this diagram. This is the Rij, this vector is Rij. The line joining of jth and ith particle, this is Rji. Okay, so the direction of Rji is in this direction. Okay, in this direction, and direction of Fij is also in same direction. So direction of Fij and Rji is same. If the direction of two vectors, two parallel vectors are same, so their cross product is 0. Okay, so direction of Rji is this, and direction of Fij is also same direction. Both the vectors are in same direction, or both the vectors acting along the same line. If the two vectors acting along the same line, their cross product is 0, it means that Rji cross Fij is 0. And secondly, I have put in place of Ri minus Rj, that is Rji. Look at this equation. According to triangle law of vector addition, Rj plus Rji is equal to Ri, and if we keep Rj on right hand side, so Ri minus Rj is equal to Rji. So that's why in place of Ri minus Rj, I have put Rji, and in place of cross product of Rji and Fij acting along the same line, their cross product is 0. Understood? Okay, because of that, our equation number this one. So because of that, Ri minus Rj is Rji, and Rji cross Fij is 0 because Rji acting along these two vectors acting along the same direction. RJI और FIJ दोनों का डायरेक्शन सेम है. इफ दोनों वेक्टर का डायरेक्शन सेम है, इट मीन्स बोथ वेक्टर्स आर पैरेलल वेक्टर्स, सो देयर क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट इज जीरो. ओके, सो since RJI and FIJ are acting along the same direction, hence their cross product 0. So RJI cross FIJ is 0. So this term will be 0. So it means that summation over IJ equal to 1 to n RI cross FIJ is 0. It means this term will be 0. Okay, summation over I and J is equal to 1 to n RI cross FIJ is 0. It means the second term of equation number 6 is 0. What is equation number 6? Just see that. This is the equation number 6 and we have just proved that the second term of equation number 6 is 0. Okay, if the second term of equation number 6 is 0, okay, so equation number 6 become dl by dt is equal to summation over I Ri cross FIE. Okay, so putting this value in equation number 6, so equation number 6 becomes, then equation number 6 becomes this one. So second term of equation number 6 is 0. So we are left with dl by dt is equal to summation over I Ri cross FIE. Okay, Ri means position vector of ith particle, FIE means external force acting on ith particle. Okay, Ri cross FIE, and this summation over I means this is for system of particles. Okay, so for system of particle, R cross F is torque. You know that R cross F is torque. What is the formula for torque? Torque means R cross F. The cross product of R and force is called torque. Okay, since R cross F is torque, tau, R cross F is tau, so in place of Ri cross FIE, we can write as tau IE, because this is external force or this is position vector. Position vector cross product of external force, that is external torque acting on ith particle, and this is summation over I means this is for system of particle. So in place of Ri cross FIE, we can put TIE because R cross F is torque. Okay, so in place of Ri cross FIE, we can put torque. Okay, that is external torque, because this force is external. External force cross product of position vector and external force is external torque. R cross F is torque. Okay, so in place of Ri cross FIE, we can put as TIE. TIE means external torque. Okay, if suppose the external torque acting on the system of particle is 0, matlab tau is 0. If summation of I tau IE is 0, it means external torque is 0, then dl by dt is 0. Then equation 7 becomes, what is equation 7? This is equation number 7. If external torque is 0, if this term is 0, then dl by dt is 0. So if external torque acting on the system of particle is 0, it means summation over I TIE is equal to T, tau E is equal to 0. It means that dl by dt is 0. If external torque acting on the system of particle is 0, it means dl by dt is 0. If dl by dt is 0 means L is constant. Okay, the derivative of any term is with respect to time 0, it means that that term is 0, that term is constant. So dl by dt is 0, it means L is constant. If L is constant means L is conserved. So by this derivation we can prove that, we have proved that the total angular momentum of the system of particle is conserved. When it is conserved? When external torque acting on the system of particle is 0, then total angular momentum of the particle, total angular momentum for the system of particle is 0. So this is all about the total angular momentum or conservation of total angular momentum for system of the particles. So this is proof for the conservation of total angular momentum of the particles. So on this portion there are two questions can be asked in the exam. They are very important question. First is state and prove the conservation theorem for linear momentum and angular momentum for system of particles, and second is state and prove the following conservation theorem for system of particles for angular momentum and total energy. Total energy we will see in the next lecture. Just these two question you can get from this today's portion. Okay, so today we have studied about the conservation of angular momentum of system of particle. Just quickly I will go through this derivation quickly again. I am repeating this derivation quickly for your revision. Okay, so just we are considering the system of particles. In system of particles, we are considering the ith and jth particle. And for ith particle, position vector is Ri. For jth particle, position vector is Rj. And line joining the I and j particle, that is position vector Rji. And the force acting between these two particles, that is Fij along the same direction. That's why Fij and Rji is same direction. Hence their cross product is 0. And according to vector law of triangular addition, Rj plus Rji is equal to Ri, Rj plus Rji is equal to Ri. So it becomes Rji is equal to Ri minus Rj. If we keep this Rj on right hand side, then Ri minus Rj is Rji according to this diagram. So first of all, we are considering the linear momentum of ith particle and the cross product of linear momentum and position vector, that will get the angular momentum of ith particle. But we have to calculate the angular momentum for system of particles. That's why we are taking summation on both sides. So summation on both sides means for system of particles, so it will become the total angular momentum for the system of particles. So it will become Ri cross Pi. Then we are differentiating with respect to t. Why we are differentiating? Because we want dl by dt. We have to prove the derivative of angular momentum with respect to time is 0. Then we can say that L will be conserved. Okay, so this summation of Li is total angular momentum. Then we are differentiating with respect to t. It will become dl by dt is equal to ddt of this term. And then on solving this term, this is the product rule. First, keeping first term constant, derivative of second, keeping second term constant, derivative of first, we will get this, and dr by dt is vi. The rate of change of position vector is velocity, and this linear momentum is mass into velocity. We will get mvi, but vi cross m is constant, so vi cross vi is 0 because they are the parallel vectors. Okay, vi cross vi is 0. So we are left with this term. But dpi by dt is force according to Newton's second law of motion. So we are left with Ri cross Fi. But Fi, we know that Fi means internal and external force. Fi means force acting on ith particle is external force plus internal force. Just by using this value, we will keep this value in equation number 4. Then we'll get Fie plus summation of j equal to 1 Fij. Then we, on solving this bracket, Ri cross Fie plus Ri cross this term. Okay, Ri is common, that's why Ri multiplied by both terms. Okay, then this summation is also common, so we will take this summation to both the terms. This summation over I first term plus summation over I and second term, and after combining these two summation, we will get common summation, that is summation over I j equal to 1 to n Ri cross Fij. Then we will solve the second term of the equation, neglecting the first term. Only the first term we are keeping constant, and we are going to solve the second term. So on solving the second term of equation number 6, we'll get this, solving the second term Ri cross Fij. This is summation over I and j. So first of all Ri plus Fij, and interchanging I and j, then we'll get plus Rj plus Fji. Why we are interchanging? Because this is summation over j also. So Ri cross Fij plus Rj cross Fji. But Fij equal to Fji, but minus. Fij is equal to minus Fji, or Fji is equal to minus Fij. So in place of Fji, I have put minus Fij. Okay, Fij is common, so we'll left with Ri minus Rj. But Ri minus Rj according to that diagram is Rji. So Rji cross Fij. So Rji cross Fij is 0 because Rji and Fij acting along the same direction. They are parallel vectors, and cross product of parallel vector is 0. And if this term is 0, then we will get the second term of the equation number 6 is 0. So equation number 6 becomes, second term will be 0. So equation number 6 will become r dl by dt is equal to summation of ri cross fi, but r cross f is torque and this is ri cross fi external force, that is external torque. R cross f is torque, so this is external torque. If this external torque, according to equation number 7, if the external torque is 0, so equation number 7 becomes dl by dt is 0. If dl by dt is 0, it means that L is constant. If L is constant means total angular momentum for the system of particle is conserved. So this is the proof for conservation of angular momentum for system of particles. Okay, so we have studied the conservation laws, that is conservation law of linear momentum and angular momentum for group of particles for system of particles. So today that's it. If you have any question regarding both laws of conservations for system of particles, then you can ask the question. Okay. If you have any question, you can ask.